There was a time when I was quite literally petrified of public speaking. And I say petrified because the nervousness would intensify to the point where I simply could not continue talking because the lump in my throat would get so big. I would blush like a tomato and then mentally freeze, and then I couldn't even think of what I had to say. You've probably heard about the surveys that show many people consider public speaking as strong as the fear of death. Well, at times like that, I would definitely agree. Now, your fear of public speaking might not be so severe as what I've described, or perhaps it's even worse. But the fact is, anything that's distracting your attention significantly is probably limiting your personal, social, and professional life, not to mention your peace of mind in any situation where public speaking is a possibility. Now, as a former panic attack sufferer, I can see how many people might compare the overwhelming fear experienced during public speaking to the sensation of a panic attack. The feelings are quite similar. One difference, though, is that with public speaking, in that situation, at least you know why you're panicking. You could escape from it if you had to, or just not show up. Whereas with panic disorder or panic attacks, you're not necessarily sure why you're feeling that sensation of fear and overwhelm. And because of that, it seems like there's no way out, like there's no escape. However, what's more important here for this discussion are the similarities between the two, which are very interesting because in both situations you have a super uncomfortable sensation growing within you, such as nervousness or fear or both. And you're trying to control or suppress that feeling, which only causes it to grow. Well, if you've watched my other panic attack videos, you'll know that it's actually the opposite reaction that empowers you to overcome panic attacks. And the great thing is that that exact same approach works with public speaking fears as well. You just apply it to any fear that you feel arising before or during your speech, or during any social activity for that matter. And soon, what would have previously become bottled up energy overload will be a completely manageable reaction. No matter how much fear or nervousness you experience, you'll still be able to speak well in front of people because you'll be able to just let those feelings flow through you rather than trying to avoid them. And almost ironically, once you've developed a little confidence in your skill and ability to do that, the fear of public speaking really disappears. I mean, knowing that you can handle anything that happens really does miracles for public speaking ability. So basically, you'll want to start by practicing in a low-key environment. Perhaps just stand up and imagine yourself giving a speech, or practice with a friend, or maybe just your dog or your cat. But the best thing is to really just practice your speech and visualize or imagine that you're in front of the group of people. And then as you're speaking and as you're visualizing that crowd of people facing you, you're going to notice the sensation of nervousness and fear start to arise. Nervousness, fear, anxiety. And the more clearly you've imagined yourself in that situation, like really projected yourself into it, the more real the feeling will be. And then the more useful this exercise will be for you. Because your subconscious mind doesn't really know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. So if you really project and imagine yourself in that situation with the crowd in front of you, you will get the same kind of feelings arising within you. Anyway, as soon as you notice that nervousness, turn your full mental awareness to that feeling and just let it be there. Just observe it without trying to change it or stop it. You can greet it, welcome it, talk to it. Talk to it like it's something within you. You can describe it with any adjectives you can think of. Just do whatever works for you to get absolutely comfortable with that sensation. Treat that feeling like it's your best friend. You want it to be there. You want it to come. your attitude should be like, bring it on, I can handle you. Now, I know this might sound weird at first, but if you practice this on a daily basis, you'll become so familiar with that feeling that it will no longer scare you when it arises while you're really giving a speech. The key is to let it be there, want it to be there, and just be aware of and accept it. When you develop your mental approach of accepting those feelings in your body, and you continue accepting them no matter how intense they get, they eventually stop growing at all, because it was only your previous mental approach of trying to squash those feelings that was making them grow. You were trying to suppress the feeling, meaning in a way you were afraid of the feeling, and that fear was adding adrenaline to the situation. And adrenaline is nervousness, so therefore it was only causing the feeling of nervousness to grow, which caused your fear to grow, which added more adrenaline to the nervousness. It's an intensifying spiral of fear is what it is, and that's just like a panic attack. And as with a panic attack, the key to reversing that spiral is to, rather than continue trying to suppress the feelings, learn to accept them and even welcome them, embrace them. With a little time and growing confidence in your ability to handle those reactions, your fear of public speaking will just dissolve. Okay, I hope that helps. If you want to view any of my other videos, you can check them out at mc2method.com/panicattacks. Thank you for watching.